Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Cuban pianist and composer Harold-López-Nussa. We caught up with him in the fall of 2020 during the heat of the coronavirus lockdown to talk about his latest 2020 CD, Te Lo Dije. This cat captures the soul of Cuba in his music. His vibrant and spirited third recording for Mack Avenue Records captures all of the moments that marriage, the jazz and Cuban pop music, joyfully standing up for that very ambitious vision of the world that he knows. This is a story about his music and his hope. Enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon. It's Joe Domino with Neon Jazz.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's it going?
Very good, thank you.
Are you down there in Cuba?
Yes, I'm in my house in Havana.
Wonderful. How's Cuba today?
Well, the weather is beautiful, sunny and hot.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Well, hey, thanks for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz today. I really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about kind of what's on everybody's mind, and the pandemic's kind of taken over and it's kind of swallowed up live music and all those things. Talk to me a little bit about, in your country and in your life, when did you find out that we were going to start heading towards this no live music, and kind of what have you been doing during the pandemic?
Yeah, have been very, very hard for me. For the last 5 years, I was traveling like a lot and playing music live almost every day. So that was like a big change for my life, and so we're getting stuck here in Cuba. Fortunately, I'm in my house with my family, and everybody is healthy. So that's the more important thing. But we have been doing other things like playing music for the social media, composing some music for. I'm scoring right now music for a TV show for Cuba. Trying to keep us busy in other way, but we are missing so much playing live music because as a jazz musician and live player musician, this is very, very strange and rare and sad for us to be out from the stage, to be out for playing for real people, in front of real people, not in front of a camera or phone or wherever. So yeah, have been very challenging.
Yeah, certainly has. Well, you have an album that's new that came out during the pandemic. Talk to me a little bit about this project.
This our last album that we recorded last year, and supposed to be out before August, but then the pandemic came and everything was delayed, and we have been working a lot in the release of the album. I mean, in more like cybernetic space and all this, but I had a great support from the label and from my agency in the US and even in Cuba. I had a lot of reviews about the album and a great support in the TV and the radio. So I'm happy because we find a way to make some noise about the album, and even if without playing the album live, I think that we are trying to get the more exposure that we can. So, and I'm very lucky to have that support with me. So I'm very grateful to all the team that is working behind me in the album.
So talk to me a little bit about your beginnings in jazz. Like, how did you start playing an instrument, and kind of how did jazz become your life?
Well, I came from a musical family. My mom, she was a piano teacher. My father, he's a drummer. He played drums. My uncle, he's a jazz piano player. And so I grew up listening a lot of jazz in my house. My father was playing with a lot of jazz musicians in Cuba. So music and jazz was like part of my life from the beginning. But when I start to study music, I start with classical training in the school. That is what we study in Cuba. It's like classic and Russian school of music, kind of. So I began to play piano with 8 years old, until 18. From 8 to 18, I was scared to play jazz because I like it so much, but the way that that the jazz is, that a lot of improvisation and keep your mind open, that was very scary for me. I was like very good student and trying to play Bach, Mozart, and Chopin, like write the right notes and everything what is right in the paper. And then the jazz is the opposite. It's like if you have a paper, it's just to have you an idea, and then you have to improvise. And at the beginning, that was very scary for me. I got a lot of support from my friends in the school that we was learning together about playing jazz, and from my family that really encouraged me to try to play. And step by step, by very slowly, I was trying to play one song today and like that, and today is what I really like to do. Play jazz. The freedom that gives me the jazz is something that I don't think that I can live without jazz today. So it's my passion. It's what I like to do, and even when we make some tunes that have some structures and melodies and bridge and everything, we always try to give a lot of things a lot of space for the improvisation. So yeah, this is what keep my attention today about the jazz.
So, you're living in Cuba, and, a lot of the jazz scene that probably you're involved with involves the United States. How does remaining in Cuba add to your sound and add to what you give that makes what you have unique to the American audience?
I have a lot of influence from the Cuban culture, and from the rhythm of Cuba, from the music from Cuba, and what I'm trying almost every day is to make my own mix of jazz and Cuban music in general, because I have influence from other musics, but what keep my attention more is the Cuban music, traditional dance music. I trying to learn every day about Cuban music, and I'm trying to learn every day about jazz. So my goal is to make my own mix between those two passions. The influence that I have from the jazz musicians, American jazz musicians, and the influence that I have from the Cuban musician, even jazz Cuban musician or just Cuban musician. So I'm trying to flow in those two universes.
What do you like the best about being a musician?
Play music for the people. Try to make people happy through the music that we make. This is very important for me. When I saw people in an auditorium, in a theater, in a club, that they're really moving about the music that we are playing or other musicians are playing, is magic. I mean, this thing is unique. Is happening just one day and will be different the other day, and give this to the people is magic. For me, it's something else. I don't know how to find the correct words for that.
No, you got it. You nailed it. So when we do return to live music, when you get back on the stage and we get back in the audience, what do you hope we realize about live music since we've been away from it for so long?
Well, I hope that people care about how important is live music. As I just told you, I feel and I think that live music is unique. You can't. You can do like a live album, but I don't know. There is something different that you cannot put in a CD. This energy is something that just happened there in this room. So yeah, I hope the people take care more about live music and make live music more important.
Everyone has an idea of who you are, who they think you are as a person, your family and your friends and your fans, but you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
It's hard to say. I'm just a Cuban musician trying to make my own music. I don't know. It's hard to say. Every day I discover things about my personality. I mean, all this new thing that is the pandemic make me realize things of my personality that I didn't know that were there. So have too much time to think about you and the life and about the music and about the family. So I don't know. I'm discovering myself every day.
Beautiful.
I'm also trying to be better. This is also my goal. I mean, my mom and my father. I learned this from them. They always think that we can be better person, better musician, better whatever. So this is my goal every day.
Hey man, that was a great answer. Thank you for opening up. Thank you for talking about your life and music and the brand new album. Good luck with it and stay safe.
Thank you so much, man. Stay safe. Be careful.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Cuba, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Harold for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.